Okay, let's talk subtraction. First of all, I want to explore this thing called the minus sign, because the book does something that I don't see very often, where they take something like -5, and the book wants to write it with the little negative sign up there, which is very strange to put it as a superscript like that. So I'm not going to do that. But I'm going to show you 3 different interpretations of this thing and why it causes trouble. First of all, it's an identifier, meaning you put it out here in front of that, you've got -5. That's what we say, and we know what that means. Okay, it's also an operator, which is subtraction. So if we put it between 2 numbers like this, we know we're doing the operation of subtraction. It also means opposite, meaning the opposite of -5 is +5, or the opposite of 2 is -2. So you can see why it causes some problems, because look at this. If I do this algebraic expression, where here we have subtraction and identifier, well, we're going to learn today that this is the same as adding the opposite. So by moving this inside the parentheses, now it's acting as the opposite. And we end up with 5 plus 2. So we did all 3, I guess, definitions of the minus sign. We had subtraction. We had an identifier, it was -2, and notice, change it into an opposite. Okay, let's look at subtraction. I'm going to do the chip model first, because you grew up doing this. You just didn't know it. You did grouping. So let's do 5 subtract 2. What does the action say? Okay, you learned it as takeaway. So 5 subtract 2. You did the action, you ended up with 3. Okay, then you learned to tie this to the number line. I need a board that's just a number line. And you learned that to do 5 subtract 2, you started at 5 and you moved 2 units to the left to get 3. You also learn things like 3 subtract 5 using the number line model, because you've just tied this takeaway to moving to the left. So now you're doing 3 take away 5, you're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units to the left, and you got the -2. This is not so easy with the chip model. And if you remember that article on specialized content knowledge, Ms. Gonzalez kind of ran into trouble with this. So let's explore the chip model this way. So I still want to do 3 subtract 5. Okay, this is going to look like overkill, but I can use it for a while. Okay, right now I have 8. I want to build 3. So this is creative use of 0 pairs. Notice now I've got 3. Now can I take away 5? Because I want to physically take away. That's the big thing about the chip model, is you have to take something away. So let's take away 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and look where we ended up. -2. Want to see magic again? Do this. Let's do a couple problems. Let's do 3 subtract 2, because we're at 3. We can take away our 2, and notice we have all the 0 pairs, we're left with 1. Now do 3 subtract 7, see what happens. I'm at 3, I can take away 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I'm at -4. Notice what we're doing. We're tying an action, taking away, and we're tying it into moving left on the number line. But physically taking away stuff. Okay, let's try the other way. Let me start with something smaller here. And now this is big. Because now I'm going to do, let's start with our friend 3. 3 subtract -2. I know you learn things like this. I've had students say, oh, this is 5. And I say, why? Because 2 negatives make a positive. Or they go, oh, swoosh, swoosh, poof. And you add those. Well, we're going to physically do this. I'm taking away -2. The physical action of taking away. Which way did I just move on the number line? I went from 3 to 5. So I started at 3. I took away -2, and look at that. I moved right on the number line. Suddenly, we're getting larger with subtraction when previously we were always getting smaller. So this physical action, that's why we like the chip model, because it follows the action of taking away and yet moving right on the number line. Okay, one last thing here. Let's do 5. And let's do 5, subtract 2. Take it away. Notice we got 3. Okay, let's go over here and go, let's add the opposite of 2. Let's add -2. So this means I'm physically adding -2. And look where we ended up. Both of them gave the answer of 3. So look at this. I subtracted 2 and I added its opposite, and I'm going to let you tie that together. There's a theorem about this. That should do this one.